Hello YouTube, it is me, Raina, and I am back. Sorry for the long wait. Life has gotten in the way. I've been working, but now I'm back. I'm really energized to talk about this episode of Doctor Who. Spoilers, oh my god. Please, if you have not seen this episode, get off YouTube, get off any social media, go watch it right now. Spoilers, okay? Fine. Alright, so this most recent episode of Doctor Who is called The Fugitive of the Judoon. To give you a summary so far, I feel about the season, I think this season has been really great. I think Orphan 55 was kind of a medium episode, but so far, to me, the build up till now, especially to this episode, has been really great. So let's talk about this episode. So, some big reveals happened. So, this past week, the Doctor Who Twitter has been teasing, a big reveal, or no, actually a big return is going to happen. And I kind of assumed that's going to be someone from the past, and it turns out it was. It was Captain Jack Harkness. I'm so happy that John Barrowman is back. He's been campaigning for years. Fans have wanted him back. It's been too long, to have this character, and I'm happy that he's back at Doctor Who proper. I think he's going to come back in the finale. I mean, it'll be a crime not to see, Jack Harkness and this version of the Doctor to interact, So I think he's going to come back. I think he was just here, kind of being planted here to give out another kind of series arc, I'm guessing, with a lone Cyberman type thing. But I think he's going to be back in the finale, definitely. So that was a great thing to see. I recognized his voice. It just put a smile on my face just to see him back. I just love his interaction with Graham, Yaz, and Ryan, and him calling Ryan his favorite. That was just amazing. And it was nice to have the Judoon back. We haven't really had them proper since really Smith and Jones. I mean, they've appeared here and there, but we never had like a Judoon-centric story since years ago. So it was nice to see them back and see more of them as, proper, characters for once. And this episode is very Doctor-centric. I didn't mind the companions not doing a lot because it wasn't centered on them. But for what they done what they could do. They had to, do whatever, But for this episode, I was just like, okay, something is clearly happening. I don't know what is happening. My mind was swirling with like, is this guy the fugitive? I don't know what's happening. And just the biggest twist, I was like, oh my God, with the Doctor going to the lighthouse with Ruth and trying to remember, I cannot believe I did not see the whole fob watch thing coming. I was trying to think, like, what is going on here? Like, why, are they human? Like, what's happening? And of course, it feeds back into what happened in Utopia with the Master, with the whole fob watch of him remembering he's a Time Lord, and then Ruth remembers she's a Time Lord. Not only she's a Time Lord or, whatever, she's actually the Doctor. And it's like, wait, what? Even my mind melted when they got into the TARDIS. I was like, wait a minute, what? And it was Ruth's TARDIS, and it was buried. And I was like, what is going on? I'm still thinking that right now, to be quite honest. And the interior of her TARDIS looked classic. And I'm like, okay, it looks classic Who. It looks like it did in the classic series. She didn't know what a screwdriver was. She was more kind of upfront and kind of standoffish, kind of like how at least the first Doctor was. So I was thinking, is she the Doctor before the first Doctor? And then when you look at Spyfall, was it part 2, I want to say, when we saw like a flash of some little girl on Gallifrey, I'm assuming, and like robes, and she was black. And I'm thinking like, oh wait, does that tie into that? And something happened there to where the Time Lords or whomever, the founding fathers of Gallifrey kind of wiped the Doctor's memory, because the Doctor is saying over and over again she doesn't remember. She remembers all her lives, but then again she lived for thousands of years, so who knows? So, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time the Time Lords have messed with the Doctor. If you haven't seen the classic series, I guess spoilers, they forced the second Doctor, who we know, the Patrick Troughton Doctor, to regenerate into John Pertwee, basically. So the Time Lords have been, notoriously have been just kind of a-holes the whole entire time, trial the Time Lord, like they banished, after they forced the second Doctor to generate, they banished the Doctor to only be on Earth and that's it. They've really, it makes sense that that the Time Lords would try to like do something to the Doctor when they were younger or something like that, because they've been kind of really just off, a-holes the whole entire time. So it makes sense. I'm not sure how it makes sense to the timeline. I mean, this won't be the first time we were introduced to a different Doctor than Doctor's timeline with the War Doctor. I mean, that was put in for the 50th because of certain things behind the scenes. But, but for this, it feels like, okay, like this is for real. Like, they were going really deep into this mythology and actually doing this. And I think the actress, I forgot her name, I'm sorry, but her character's name was Ruth, but I think for her outfit and everything, I really enjoyed her. I think she was a great, I believe that she was a Doctor. And I think is one of the classic Doctors, or maybe the Doctor before the first Doctor. Now, before this episode, before even this series, ever since I started watching Doctor Who, I've always thought, is there a Doctor before the first Doctor? Because I mean, this can't just be this, this Time Lord's life. It has to be infinite. It can't just be starting from here to there. You know what I mean? Like, it's been ongoing for a long periodically time. So I've always had this theory at the back of my mind, like there's been at least one Doctor before the first Doctor, or something before the series proper. It was just kind of like I think it's like, why not? Because literally, and I know people are going to be angry about this, but this show was literally made upon making up as you go. Regeneration was not even a thing. They didn't even name the planet or even Time Lord or whatever when Hartnell was even the Doctor. They made that up as time went along. Regeneration, the Master, the Ronnie, all these things were made up out of, thin air. The Daleks were opposed to before they became a big hit back in the day. So Doctor Who at his core is making things up as they go along. There is a canon, but then there's not a canon. Doctor Who is like, canon, what's canon? We can do whatever. The show has always been like, make up as you go along and reinvent certain things. Hello, the new series started off with Gallifrey being destroyed and the Doctor doing it and having PTSD from it and having a new outlook on life. That changed the canon. Stephen Moffat brought back Gallifrey, and Christian took it away. Now he's doing his own thing. Like, they're doing what they do with the show. The show has, the new series at least, has been going on since 2005, so you gotta reinvent it somehow. So that's just my personal reading. But all in all, I really enjoyed this episode. It really brings up a lot of theories. What are your theories? What do you think is going to happen towards the end of the season? I'm not going to put that in this video. I'm going to see where these other episodes go. So bye, YouTube, and have a great rest of your day.